Tuna wageni watatu, Mheshimiwa Sebastian Kapufi mbunge, ambao ni wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani. Wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani, karibuni sana.
Container packed with supplies that need to make their way to families in Africa, like yesterday. You said this is a 53-foot trailer? This trailer is packed with medical supplies destined to the motherland. We need to help get these out of here. What were you taught about marriage? Did it have you properly prepared for the journey, or desperately frustrated looking for the nearest escape? I'm Shar, founder of Law for Love, the most special place in the legal system in Atlanta. And after navigating families through the court system for more than 13 years, we are now taking those lessons learned to serve and support families to build healthier, happier, more purposeful marriages. Join us live on YouTube at Law for Love ATL Monday nights for our family meetings. Yes, grown folk discussions.
Shalom, salama, CME, shalom. Greetings to all my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world, whether you're the bloodline of Abraham, the house of Israel, or you're a Gentile grafted into the house of Yahushua HaMashiach. I welcome you this morning. Sorry for my tardiness, family. I have to be off of here around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I actually have a pretty big presentation. Um, if it happens, I was on the phone with brother Mike this morning, and just to give you some feedback with this presentation. Um, it's not that we don't want to do anything for the family, but here's the thing: we have to keep our intellectual property safe. Intellectual property is a property. It is a business tool. It is. Do we want to do things for the continent? Absolutely we do. But the way that we do it has to still be in the hands, and it's simple because it's credit. I can't tell you all what I do if somebody takes what I do and say, "This is me, this is my stuff," and then they try to do the exact same thing. They'll try to do the exact same thing, but it'll fail because here's the thing: because when we do things under the grace and mercy of Yahuwah. So things that should not even be possible is possible. Because, like I had said, Quest Unite Africa is the Most High's organization. Everything I do for the Most High. I do for the King. So yeah, so I was talking to that about, or to Mike about that um, early this morning. I said, well, I pray that it goes, and if it doesn't go, I'm not tripping. I just give the Most High praise because we have other irons in the fire. There are other things that we are doing that the Most High has given us favor with. It's just hard when you're working with your people. It's that mentality. Sorry, at the end of the day, now we're not going to give you the baby in the bathwater. No, we're not going to give you all this because why? Because I'm responsible ultimately to the Most High because He's given me the knowledge and understanding of how these things work. And if I don't manage the resources that He's given me, then I'm just as responsible. And that's not a key to vanity or things of that nature. No, that's being wise. That's being prudent. That's using wisdom that given each and every one of us. And that's listening to counsel. I asked the folks on the board, I said, should I present it? Even if nothing comes back with this NDA, this non compete, they said, no, don't do it. Ask Red. Red was real adamant. He said, Brother Karras, do not do it. Same with Sister Fatea. And I understand. I understand. Look, we have a lot of brain power and brain capacity because that wasn't just my presentation. No, this is a presentation that came from the board. Their intellectual input, their logistical understanding to have the slides polished off. And then as I was going through the presentation, I always like to do, dry runs. I always like to, you know, rehearsal after rehearsal after rehearsal. I think that was about the fifth time that I rehearsed it. And as I rehearsed it, it was coming so natural. The flow was going so well. I was surprised at myself. But that's what I do. I like to self critique. Even when I've done my best, even when I've given my best, I still say, man, I don't know if that was good enough. That's me. That's my personal characteristic, flaw, whatever you want to call it. So have that go me in your prayers. If it does happen today, get back and they say, hey, let's just get it presented and there's no NDA, non compete. I'll just and you can't see it visually. I mean, what else can I do? What else can I say? I'll give you a high level overview. But no, we have to learn how to value ourselves. And honestly, that's a hard concept for us. Knowing our worth and knowing our value. See, they tell you, oh, if you know your worth and you know your value, you're conceited, right? They always try to play the mind games. Oh, you're uppity. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. No, I just know my value. I know my worth. Understand, we have been thoroughly destroyed as a people. Just as Brother Eric had come through yesterday and had explained, look, they do not enjoy us having a measure of success. Matter of fact, when they see the success, they can't stand it. So what do they always try to do? They always try to pray against our success. Understand this, family. We are going through a spiritual battle. And it's hard for people to understand that because I'm going to tell you, a lot of our people just like to stay in the background, man. I'm not going to get hit like Brother Karras. Man, did you hear what happened? Did you know what's going on with him? You know what's happening with his family? You understand what's happening with this and that? Some legal issues. He's got this and that. I'm not trying to do that. Now I'm staying in the background. Let me just emerge when them ships of Tarshish come through. I'm getting in shape to run that marathon if I have to run 20, 30, 40 miles a day to get to the ships, to get to safety. And hey, sometimes that's the role that the Most High may have you in. The front lines are not made for everyone. You want to know why? Even the Most High said, if you have or if you're faint of heart, stay here, lest you promote that fear and then have everybody afraid. There were specific guidelines for even going into battle. If you can't do it, if you're afraid, nah, you stay here. Because why? Because we can't have anybody that has a faint heart. Because this battle is not for the faint of heart. I knew what I was getting into the moment I opened my mouth over 4 years ago. And I said, Father, I said, I thank you. I said, I may be broken. I may get cracked. I may get spiritually torn apart and fed to the wolves. But I said, thank you, Father, because I give up. I'm letting go and I'm letting you. No matter what, no matter the calamity, no matter where I end up, no matter if I'm broke, destitute, despondent, or even deleted, dead. That's a bold declaration. Not many people want to take that declaration. Who have you declared for? I've declared for the Most High, Elohim, the Elohim of this word, the Elohim of Yasharal, the Elohim of my bloodline, of Yehuda. Going forth and being covered under the blood of Yahusha HaMashiach. Oh, see, that's a you're worshiping your bloodline. No, I don't. Because it was the sins of our forefathers that brought us here. The lack of mercy, the lack of love, the lack of forgiveness, the lack of understanding, the lack of compassion. All these things we lacked, and guess what? That led to our destruction, plain and simple. And I dealt with that lack because we all lack something. Every single one of us. And we still all do lack something. This was never going to be an easy fight. It was never going to be a fair fight. But it was going to be a fight of our lives. Did anybody notice thing flipped around? The script was flipped. Nothing was the same anymore. Have you noticed they're now talking about retail Armageddon happening this year? And I see it even in Florida. Dang, that's gone. That's gone. So if it's happening here in Florida, you want to know what that means? It's really bad everywhere else in the country. So what are people doing? They're seeing that things are getting very bad. And let me tell you, do you want to know who's running for the exit signs the most? And the answer isn't the folks that you see displayed on the thumbnail. It's not our people. It's them. They're leaving in droves. Want to know why? Because even passports have gotten a little bit more expensive. Yeah, they were able to throw more resources because the only thing that's growing in the economy, it's not even an economy, the only thing that's growing in terms of employment is government. All that is that those are just the classic symptoms of a imminent crash getting ready to happen. Yeah, a meal 4 years ago used to cost less than $15. Now it's about $30. Yeah, you're right, Brother Garth. Things aren't getting better with that because paychecks aren't increasing. Nope. Payroll isn't increasing. So all they're doing is, okay, well, we're just going to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. And them folks, they're looking at us of, when are you going to retaliate? I'm waiting for you to retaliate so that I can retaliate. And then we'll blame it on you. That's not what we do as a people. The awesome thing is that what we do as a people, we actually begin to call on our Elohim. There's like a circuit breaker that's naturally in our DNA. And that breaker has to trip and flip. And even the most ardent of our people, even the most rebellious of our people, once that circuit breaker of being broken upon broken happens, then our people shout out. Then our people cry out. And when our people cry out, oh boy, it's going to get really, really interesting around here. I've always said this. Look, there is a parallel. Even Jacoba had gone through this. He went through this on Saturday's teaching. There is a parallel. Yahusha suffered and cried out on the cross, or cried out in this torture, being hung, being on the pole, his life ebbing away. And now here we are. We've already died as a people. Spiritually, yeah, we've been destroyed. But we started to have a little bit of a heartbeat again in this awakening. We had the little dun dun. It was fate. There are heartbeats in our catatonic state. Dun. Oh, I'm a Yahudim. Dun. You mean I'm an Israelite? Dun. And then as more people started to who they were, there was that faint pulse that would go every couple of months, years, decades. It started to be rhythmic. Dun, 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 dun. There was a pulse happening. Oh, I've said this on many occasions. If you want to know the state right now, I, we're technically brain dead. I know it sounds harsh. It sounds real harsh. I'm sorry. But that's where we are as a people. We're brain dead, but we're beginning to get a pulse again. And now, what's getting ready to happen is that there's about to get more pressure on the body. The electro nodes are being placed around the temples, and we are about to get shock therapy to get the synapses in our brains firing, because what fires the most? When you feel the pain and discomfort. What do Jacobus say? This year it's going to be pain. And now people are seeing that it's starting to get pretty painful. That's not what I signed up for. I didn't sign up to be to have pain. I signed up to be comfortable. I signed up to not have growth. I just wanted to be, you know, existing. Let's just face it. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of us, we have our thresholds of comfort. It's our box. Everybody else can suffer. I just don't want to suffer. I don't want that pain. It's the box. Well, unfortunately, when you are living in that society, guess what? That's how wickedness pervades, because I don't care how wicked they are. Look, this is the fallacy of thought. And this is why they're in trouble. Here's the fallacy of thought. I don't care how wicked they are. It doesn't have anything to do with me. And let me tell you this. They have used that excuse for the last 150 years. And they were getting away with the excuse. Trust me, the excuse was working. The excuse was working. But the problem is that they would fail to read Jeremiah 49. They would fail to read Obadiah. They would fail to read Habakkuk chapter 2. They failed to read the scriptures because all they could say was, I am empowered to do wickedness because why? Because I'll be forgiven. My slate is wiped clean so I can continue to sin, and sin some more. No, that was their fallacy. Sounds good to me. That's how I transliterated it. That's how my forefathers transliterated it. Hey, we were given the scriptures because we took it from you, and then we just interpret it how we deem fit. And when you've had success and nothing has happened, because why? Because the Most High had allowed them their time, their opportunity, the time of the Gentiles to be fulfilled. Well, you can't argue with that failed logic because they're technically correct. The time of the Gentiles had not yet been fulfilled. They're able to run amok, ripshod. But then we started to awake. We started to ask some questions. We started to pray about some things because remember, we would get told, read our Bible, read our word, get a relationship. Have a relationship with the Most High. Guess what? That's what they told me in church. I said, no, I said, I'm going to be a hearer and doer of this word. That was a big mistake for them. Because a lot of black folks started to be a hearer and doer. Because why? Because a lot of things were going on 2007, 2008, 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13. We were getting killed, gunned down. We had the violence levels on us magnified because why? Because we were capturing social media, and now all of a sudden you're not allowed to tape police officers in certain states, in certain communities. Why is that? Because it started to wake us up. And as we started to wake up, we started to shout out even louder. Father, why is this happening? What's going on? We started to ask our churches, why is this happening? What didn't start off my walk? So, well, I'm an Israelite. I'm of the tribe of Judah, and I'm going to have my Star of Solomon. It's my Star of Raphan and Moloch. and get into my ninja outfits, telling the Gentiles who's the master, bend down and kiss my converses. No, what I did, I went to my pastor. I went to the church leaders, the church elders. They had a black pastor on staff at the church I was going to. And I said, help me understand this. I said, I've been reading the Bible, I've been reading the word. Some things are adding up. There's some contradictions. Help me understand this. And they gave their typical seminary answer. Well, um, this is just what we're dealt with in life. This is a lot. And then what I did, I'm not a dummy. I never was a dummy. I gave him the feedback. Well, what about this? I gave him literally about 20 points. And he couldn't answer. And I was very disappointed. Because the answers, what that means was, if I can't give you an answer, then I have to lie to you by omission or silence. You have the right to remain silent. Do you know what that actually means? You have the right to consent to what has been arbitrarily declared and dictated over you or decreed over you. Understand the words. Please shut up. Please don't cry out. Please don't ask the Most High to help you in this situation. Please don't cry out and change the atmosphere of your present situation. Please do not call out on the Most High at this present situation, because that's a bad thing for us. Something can happen to us while we have you in handcuffs because you are crying out, you are speaking out. Something bad can happen to us when you're locked away in that police car, that patrol car. Because why? Because you're crying out to the Most High for justice. That He hears your calls, that those angels come to rescue you. Oh, they did it for Peter and Silas. So why? Why do they give that to you? Because why? Because it's a simple anecdote. Listen, you hear that it's a right to remain silent. So what do we want you to do? Shut up and suffer. So it's a couple fold process. Because in one instance, if you pray and you say, Father, provide righteousness, lift up your cause, do away with the evildoers and the wicked ones. Well, I'm pretty sure they know who they're talking about. I wasn't talking about you being an evildoer or wicked one, unless you count yourself evil, being an evildoer or wicked one. I'm just asking the Most High. I'm asking my Heavenly Father to judge. Why are you getting scared? Because I'm asking them that. I understand. In this time, in this season, our words and our declarations, they matter. They matter so much that they try to shut people down, especially when you're talking to them in righteousness. I'm sorry how you feel, but let's just admit it. Y'all did this to yourselves. We would have healed Babylon, but she refused to be healed. We had the oil, the balm, the salves, we had all that stuff. We have folks crying over you and still do. A lot of our people are still crying over this place. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I can't knock your paycheck. It is what it is, I guess. Wait a second, let me get some YouTube views and let me get some subscribers coming in there. Oh please, Father Yah, please help Babylon. I mean, AKA America. I mean, AKA our oppressors. Father, we needs you to make everything's good again for our oppressors so we can continue to be oppressed. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father, because I see these cash apps coming in because we needs to stay in oppressions because it was good for us and it was great for them. Hallelujah. Oh, well, $5,000 cash app. Oh, thank you for Cesar Borgier. Oh, $10,000. Oh, thank you. Man, at this level, I could be getting my Gulf Stream. Oh, thank you for the Orange Messiah. Well, it looks like I'm done with my show. Thank you, family. I was able to collect $3 million right now. They even texted me. I'm gonna be doing the closing prayer at the Republican National Convention, and I'm booked for the DNC. Whoa! Thank you for Pharaoh 1 and Pharaoh 2. Oh, and the sad thing is that's the absolute honest truth. But the problem is that they're running into is they're not wishing away this judgment. They're not praying away this judgment. They can't manipulate and twist themselves out of the word, out of the scriptures. No, they're here. It's here. It's happening. It's right now. For the past couple of weeks, I was going over a lot of the current affairs, right? What's happening in the world? What's going on here? What's going on there? I'm resigned to this fact that couple weeks, other than these little flare ups, and I'm not gonna say little, but these are gonna be some flare ups. Holding pattern. It's holding pattern. Now we're thinking about the domestic issues going on because the buildup has to happen. Yeah, there's still Russia, Ukraine, there's still China, there's still Iran, and there's still the Houthis and everything else. That's cool. That's stagnant. But it's the holding pattern that's being done. Because it's a buildup. Well, now it's 120 days in less than, or whatever the count is. What is that? 18 weeks and counting, something like that. Well, now we got to go X, Y, and Z, and now we got to do this, this, and this, and now we got to focus on the needs of the Negro. Hello, Mr. Negro. It's been 4 years now where over these 4 years we did absolutely nothing for you. So we need to come back to you and do absolutely nothing again, but we're going to tell you that we're going to be nice about it this time, that we're going to do absolutely nothing. For me to do something just for black folks? No. And man, they were right about that during the Biden administration. I'm like, dang, it was nothing for black folks. Man, they were absolutely correct. Man, hey, nobody can say that they didn't stick to their campaign promises. In that respect, yeah, I guess that they were truthful. We told you we were going to do nothing for you. Why acting all mad? I think that that was the first truthful political thing ever. And then they running back. I need my black folks. You can tell it's bad when Biden's been asking for black folks to come back. And the House Negroes, their messaging it's not working. Come back to the plantation. Come back to the blue plantation. I like the red plantation better. The point is, you got to get off of the plantation. That's been the point. It's not the fact that we're going to come off the plantation. It's going to be the fact of how brutal will that process be? I like the blue whip better than the red whip. Well, I like the red whip better than the blue whip. Okay. How about we not get whipped at all? Well, look at this high and mighty uppity Negro trying to take the whip out of Mouse's hand. I likes my whippings. Do you see all them cash apps coming through? So, let's break this down. Why we're looking at the exit signs. Because now we're looking at a couple of scenarios. And these are the scenarios that no matter what door, you could choose door 1, 2, or 3. Doors 1, 2, and 3 still goes to destruction. Pick your poison. Yeah, J Zero. Look, everybody. I didn't even have to say it. Everybody knew what was going on. Oh, let's analyze. Let's break this on down. All right. So, door number 1. Everybody starts to get on the Trump train because Trump says, "I'll take care of my African Americans." I'm sorry, I still have to laugh over that. Nobody likes me more than my African Americans. And after the 50 Cent and Tupac memes, and 50 Cent literally doing a concert with a superimposed face on 50 Cent's body, talk about many men. Uh, Trump had some valid points. The internet was buzzing with many men and hit him up. I'm sorry, family. I'm trying to hold it together. But what did that do? Dang, Trump survived. Looked like to me a law enforcement government backed hit. I don't know how much G you can go from there. Oh my goodness. Because now people are thinking, dang, they really want to take him on out. What is he really going to do for Bose? Is he really going to pay back for reparations. Let's be serious. I'm laughing, but this is a deadly serious conversation. Is there a plan for the to pay reparations that we don't know about? I don't know. I'm just telling you. Black folks are going to be voting just on that curiosity and speculation alone. Ah, my African Americans. You know that they shot me because I was coming up with a plan for my African Americans. I can't tell you the plan. They almost tried to kill me once. Yo, that's all that dude has to do between now. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, family. That's literally all he has to do between now and November. You don't know. Do you think that they just tried to assassinate me for nothing? You know, I'm getting ready to help out my African Americans bigly, hugely. It's gonna be huge. Let me see what this orange man's talking about. Yeah, they really tried to shoot at him. Oh yeah, he's gonna do something for black folks. Is it gonna be reparations? Is it really gonna be reparations? Man, black folks are gonna be burning up the internet. Yo, we need to keep Trump alive. He's about to give us reparations, yo. You know what's happening. He's about to cut that check. Kamala said no, but I think they tried to take Trump out because he's about to say yes. It's the deep state. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry I had to laugh. I'm laughing because that's the only thing that was needed. That's the only thing that was needed. Now, in the course of this, it would be, well, African Americans supported Trump. The liberal narrative has failed. And then it would be, of course, the classic Democratic character assassination. I don't believe that that was a fair and legitimate vote and everything else. Did black people really vote for Trump? Did this, did that? That's what you're going to see because that's what's really going to start to happen. These are all the plausible scenarios. Why would they want to vote for their own demise? We've been voting for Democrats for more than 50, 60 plus years, and that's been the demise, literally. No one can make that up. I think if there's going to be an overwhelming support of black folks for Trump, then there's going to be another reprisal like no other. I wouldn't be surprised that the Democrats even try to strip away voting rights before they leave office. Just saying. Republicans be like, "Oh, we're good on that one, yeah." But what that does is then that signals to the quote unquote liberals, then it's open season on African Americans, so called African Americans, so called black. We single handedly failed the nation and we turned it over to a dictatorship. The next scenario is going to be if Biden wins. And with Biden winning, this is a little bit more complicated because honestly, I don't think that even with Biden winning, you're not going to have a lot of majority of quote unquote black folks participating in these elections. I still say that if Biden wins, I still believe that that would be a historically low turnout amongst black voters. But what that would then say is, from Trump's side of the house, this campaign was thoroughly rigged. And he will argue that low participation numbers was something that the Democrats had planned, and that's what stymied the election. Oh, you know what's going to end up happening within the quote unquote black communities, inner city communities. There's going to be postal service trucks that will go missing with votes. There'll be a lot of games and things of that nature. And it will be. That let's not take no for it, that's not going to be reality. That will be. Because the grand scheme of this is that as the election period goes on, people are losing their faith in Biden. Yeah, Biden is out there, but is he even there? And the question is, who's actually there? So who are you really voting for? So this will cause a lot of angst and anxiety, a lot of worry. Philip Turner. I don't see nothing wrong with a little reparations. I don't see nothing wrong. Hey, man. All right. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to be serious here. I'm trying to be serious because I got to coordinate. I got to Oh, but that's what they'll do. They'll say, look, there's no way this and that, these population centers, these population areas. Yeah, he is on a steady decline. We already saw with how he slurs his words. You don't have the diction anymore. As we get closer to the election, all I hear is the sound of Biden and Trump's voice in my ear. Say, reparations drive me crazy. Oh my goodness. Y'all- Why y'all egging me on like this? Oh man. Oh. So that's going to be the argument. Look, how did this really, why and how could this really be a democratic process? That'll be from the Democrats and Republicans. The third, I think, the most pivotal point, to me at least, is that we have an African American withdrawal. Doesn't matter who wins, doesn't matter who loses. You have an historically low turnout. And I'm talking about when I say historically low, I'm talking about turnout in the teens. Like folks did not even show up to vote. Well, that is a very strong imagery problem that, quite frankly, the US cannot afford. What does that mean? Well, it's not just that black people are talking about, well, the faith and trust of in the American system, is always been a detriment to us. It's not just that, you hear the talking heads and everything else talking about, well, I still believe that black people will turn out no matter what because it's their democracy that they got to live into. No, it would be a literal slap in the face and a rejection of the system. Oh, I think I'm hitting some nerves because here come the trolls. I must have been I must have hit an algorithmic keyword when I was singing about reparations. Black folks are singing about reparations or having too much fun. They're laughing. Cue the trolls. No, that is actually one of the worst repercussions that they could have, right? Because what do they always signal to the world? What's their signaling strategy and mechanism? Oh, everything's fine with us. Everything's okay with us. Look, if it wasn't, then why are they voting? If they don't believe in this system, then why are they voting? That to me is the most single catastrophic, cataclysmic event. That would be the most single catastrophic and cataclysmic event since 9/11. That's just my personal opinion. That will play demonstratively on the egos of, let's just put it on out there, Caucasian Americans. Oh, we just hear them argue and complain all the time. They're not going to do anything about it. They can't do anything about it anyway. All they're going to have to do is shut up and vote. Shut up and dribble, shut up and vote, get in that line, and what? And affirm our authority, affirm our superiority, affirm our control, affirm that you're a victual. Don't worry about Deuteronomy 28. Even if you know about Deuteronomy 28, who cares? Even if you know that we're Pharaoh, who cares? Even if you know that you're in mystery Babylon and you've been under this system of oppression, who cares? Because why? As long as you physically go through the act of renouncing your authority, then we won. Because it doesn't matter who's won. All it is was you just wanted Pharaoh A or Pharaoh B. And we can continue to destroy you. Vote for your destruction and vote for your oppression. I don't care who it is. It's a spiritual affirmation. This is what they get mad about. That's worse than any type of dirty bomb, nuclear, whatever. Who cares? That's an easier thing to do because it's an existential threat that they can then fight, and then they can fight everybody and everyone because that's their culture. They don't care. All right, we're going to war. Perfect. Thank you. Now we can crank up the war machine. Here we go. Whew. Glad we can start making billions and trillions again. Been on the sidelines too long, coach. I'm starting to get kind of itchy. No, I would say, to be honest, let's just say, just happenstance. And this is just my opinion. This is my breakdown. Anybody, I have the link on out here. You can come on up and you can add to this discussion. That's why I have the link. You can add to this discussion. We can talk about it. But I'm giving you my analysis. I would say this. If you saw that there are historical numbers that were being reported, number one, our voting participation would not be reported at all. At all. It would not be reported. You want to know why? Because in the 2020 presidential election, it was actually already proven that we had historically low voter turnout, like one of the lowest since the Johnson administration. And that was just in 2020. You want to know when they finally made that declaration? It was about 2 years later. Because that was the whole, hey, come back into the fold of participating in America. Oh boy, brother Rojo.
Hey, what's up?
I was like, I said, Father, I said, please don't let it be Brother Rojo on up there. Please don't let it be. Please don't let it not be him that's getting his candy bars, his pew pews, his Kit Kat stickers, his Skittles. Oh, fuck. And then when I saw it was the one dude, I said, oh, thank you, Father.
The one that don't need to be.
Now Rojo's in the back with the sign. That was you in the back, Rojo. You were the only brother in the back there. That was
Hey, hey! At least you know I got your six. You can watch your 12 because ain't nothing coming up the rear.
oh
Trust
my
me on
goodness.
that. But hey, did you know? I don't know if y'all know. It's old news by now, probably. But at the RNC day one, they had another. And I'm not laughing because I don't even know the ethnicity of the person it happened to, but they were ended.
Mm, be surprised. Yeah, a lot of a lot of stuff. I think they had the Democratic National Convention is going to be sometime in August. That's going to be really the real fireworks per se.
Hey, you want to talk about a theme?
Ain't
You
going to
you, you want to talk about a
be out on
theme?
stage. Hmm?
And I'm gonna say you want to talk about a rap theme since both sides are using hip hop. The Republicans already used 50 Cent. What say the Republicans go with "Hit 'Em Up" with the line "Five shots couldn't drop me." Let's say they go with that. Donald Trump goes with that, and then what to kill the DNC? What to just go ahead and just excuse me unalive them? Just go ahead and stop their campaign cold. Is if the DNC gets so arrogant that they come back with Biggie Smalls, who shot you.
I wouldn't doubt that because maybe Puff is like maybe Puff is like okay, we'll cut a deal. We'll cut a deal. It wouldn't be you'd be like Biden for life. We ain't going nowhere. Take that. Take that. Got
Can't
my
stop,
deal.
won't stop.
Now can't stop federal agents mad because I'm flagrant. Oh my goodness.
he said, He said, there's gonna be some slow singing and flower bringing if my regular law starts ringing.
And you know what?
If,
And you know what though? The saddest thing is I could see that happening as the saddest minstrel show ever. We won't press charges on you if you go through the stage and you start dancing around Biden.
oh,
I could
and you
see
know
that
what?
happening.
All kidding aside, I can see that happening, Karis. I can see Puff Daddy doing something like that to get, yeah, yeah.
See,
And
this is what Biden would say. See, uh, uh, Trump's a whiner. He's a whiner. I got P Diddy, Puff Daddy here. He's dancing. I got the black vote. Do you see how they're dancing? This Trump's a whiner.
be
Oh my
him,
goodness.
be him, and then Karis want to come up and embrace Kamala Harris and say that all of a sudden East Indians started rap. You know, he'll be East Indian. You rule hip hop. And Kamala, you rule hip hop.
My goodness. They're gonna have that would be funny. That would be funny in their next debate. They have a rap battle. Oh, that would be hilarious. I'm sorry. They have a rap battle in their debate. This next debate will be proctored by Nick Cannon.
It'll have Eminem come up for the Democrats. Hi, my name is. Huh? My name is.
Eminem will be for Trump. Eminem will be on Trump's thing.
No, you know what? You're probably right.
Oh,
They're going there talking about, who makes the better soul food, like Gar said, who makes the
yeah.
better peach cobbler.
They
And
will
then,
have. They will have. They will literally have a throwdown with Nick Cannon and Exhibit. All right. So we're coming on here live with these presidential debates. We're going to be judging them in 3 categories. First, it's going to be the cook-off. Man, who can make these ribs the best? Next, we're going to have the on the ground battle. Who and their crew has the best moves and the best breakdown? Next, we finish it off with our rap battle. Yes, who can spit the bars the best? We know Biden ain't, and we know Trump, he's on his own little world. So we're going to have the crews come on out here. Let's get started.
and then you had that foghorn.
You're gonna have Trump just looking at Biden and just giving him some like little hand gestures, like you see, giving a little face and hand gesture. I love the new format of that presidential campaign when they said that they wanted to speak to the urban people. They really did. My heart felt it.
Hey, but seriously, could you see honestly at the next debate, or if Trump comes up to speak at this convention, can you see him getting out there spitting some bars? Like seriously, like he'll spit something like from Tupac, like from the cradle to the grave,
Yeah, he'll be like, bust that beat. My name is Orange Man. Can't you see? It's gonna take more than one shot to the ear to get me. my secret surface. They may have had to got me low, but I bounced back with the fist to let them know the Orange Man.
And I just want to know if I would have died. Just tell me how long will they mourn me? This, I'm not making light of an attempt on someone's life. I'm not, but it's just so comical. This stuff writes itself, Karen.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We've gone past the age of silly, and it's just like, okay, well, it's reality and it's frightening.
It is.
Hmm.
It-
It's
and then
frightening.
you had your boy come in here. See, I gotta check my fingers, like I gotta check my mouth, cause I start to get silenced in your room by one of the mods, cause I start to cuss Ren out in chat with that stuff he said. How do you come in a chat that you're not welcome in, that you don't agree with, and talk about I met a white South African, he's a true African American.
Okay,
I'm
all
like,
right. Let's see what the DNA says. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you can hit them with all these comebacks. Come on, stop, 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 man. I mean, look, and you have to understand they're fearful. They're fearful. This is a fear and anxiety like no other.
well, you're right.
So when you see like, look, exit signs, you have to understand to leave. Why? They don't want to go. They don't want us going nowhere. The last thing, look, I'm going to tell you, they will then placate. Oh well, we need your support. We're going to promise to do more with more African Americans. What's the exit polls looking like? Because they're going to start asking the question. I'm going to be dead
Yeah.
serious. In about 60 days, they're going to start asking the questions to black folks in September and October. Who are you going to vote for? Are you going to vote? And I'm going to tell you this: the answers that black people will have, our people will have, will be: is it really worth voting? Oh, yes, it's worth voting. You need to show your right as an American.
Oh yeah, all of a
Is
sudden
it
now we're
really
going to
worth?
be Americans now.
Yeah, no, they'll be asking it. Is it really worth voting? Well, I think that you don't you want to take this opportunity. You only get every 4 years. Well, we had that in 2020. What happened? Went from bad to worse. You know, and that's where. Excuse me, just a second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No, you good.
Yeah. All right. Had to put the dog in the cage because he was seeing I was a little bit too gleeful and joyful, and he didn't know what to do. Decided,
Oh yeah, they'll jump on you, bark, bite you, lick you, and everything else. I have a
yeah.
big dog like that too.
So, yeah, he's in that 1 year old German Shepherd stage, and he's fully in it. So I have to kind of just, put him down and let him kind of reset. So, yeah, but I'm back. I'm back. So, again, I look at that as well. This is a time that you now have a what a ban that's getting ready to happen on TikTok. When does that ban go into effect?
September, October. I mean, go figure.
Exactly. Yeah, they knew what they were doing. So then what's going to end up happening? Then you have X. So why? So you can have very ultra Now X to me has been, it's now the right wing corridor, because you just literally had Elon Musk a couple days ago say, eh, give his support to Donald Trump.
In a big way. Do you know how much money he put into Donald Trump?
What did
I'm
he
just saying.
what did he say? He said he was going to give Donald Trump $45 million a month
Yep. Yeah,
for
oh,
the
okay, so
election.
yeah.
Yeah, 45 million a month. And now, I mean, think about it. If you're a donor to the Biden campaign, do you really want to then come through and spend money for somebody that's losing? This is all about money. These things that's in the back, these are that's the political money that then contracts for bids. Contracts for bids, and those bids are government bids. Don't think that they're just spending their money just for the sake of it. No, because it's a business. They're spending their money because they're trying to get favorable contracts from the government. So then the little 180 million that I spend is going to be repaid in a contract of 5 or 6 billion dollars. It's a long game effort.
Well, I'm nonpartisan, but the Republicans are winning that game. And did you hear about how George Clooney, who raised half a billion for the DNC, just turned on Joe Biden?
Yeah, yeah, just turned on them. Exactly. And it's like, well, I mean, what can you do? Look, think about this now. Have we ever seen this happen in this society? Tell me who's seen this.
Nope.
I've never seen this.
And my time on this earth, and I'm born in 1971, so I just dated myself. I've
Hmm.
never seen, I've never seen anything like I've seen in this paradigm over the past 8 years. Never.
Mm-mm. Now this is something that people are scratching their heads, and it's not just here in the United States. It's also around the world. Look, if people don't know the power that we have, the problem is find out how much authority you have. Truly find out how much authority you have when you don't participate in something. I need you to come back. I need you to help. I need you. I need you. Oh yeah. You'll find out real quick.
We see what DeSantis is doing with your state. He's trying to divide the true patriots in South Florida versus the he don't know who y'all are in North Florida. And ain't he close to where you are? Ain't that where his governor's mansion is? Or are you little? No, wait, you're a little bit further north than that than
I'm only
he
in
is, I
Tampa.
think.
No, I'm only in Tampa. No,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, I'm nowhere near him. No, it's about a 30-minute flight, or for me, about really 4.5 hour drive. It's a drive. It's a hike.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I don't know what he's. I try to watch some political stuff until I just need to drink Pepto Bismol. And as funny as it was, I mean, when he came up, I don't know what he was talking about. I mean, I don't know what is this DIE or DEI that y'all are talking. Not you personally, but that y'all are a lot of Floridians are talking about. What is that?
It's diversity, equity, and inclusion. So when they say,
Oh,
like people are DEI hires and things of that nature, you know, well, I mean, they may be. I mean, they may be. But listen, the thing is that we've always said it before. All the DEI hires, what that promoted was, and I may get my channel shut down, but this is what statistics have shown. It's for white women.
okay, and well, everything is for them. Affirmative action is for them. Those other but why do Floridians be coined? I mean, now that you explained it to me, because I've been seeing that a lot on X or Twitter or whatever. Now it's kind of funny, and I mean, I thought Texas came up with some stuff, but man, y'all come up with some of the weirdest acronyms,
Yeah.
DIE or DEI, whatever.
Yeah,
I
because
mean, that
when they ended affirmative action, that was their new kind of go-to word. But that and I'm not saying that coyly, or trying to be abusive about, oh well, this and that. No, it's studies have actually shown and proven, or I would say strongly correlate, because people don't want to say proven. It strongly correlates that that's who has had the most either success or um, provisional circumstances with the DEI affirmative action programs. So it's always one of those things when people say, oh, it's about us, it's for us. And then I would say, well, prove it. And then when you give them literally the hard numbers from the Department of Labor and Statistics, then they say, oh, we can't trust the numbers.
well, Karis, this is undeniable. That Trump detail, I'm glad personally. I am so glad that there wasn't a black Secret Service agent out there because, for one, they would have never given us any breaks on that one. But
Oh,
then,
I
two,
know. Oh, I know.
yeah,
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yep.
and then the whole libs and the right side. I'm not gonna put everything on the right side because it was the libs talking this stuff too about DEI hires, and they were aiming at that lady, Secret Service agent.
Mm-hmm.
So you're onto something when you and she was a Wahitsi. So you're onto something when you said about the whole benefiting Wahitsi women because she was the first one pictured.
Oh yeah. And they went after their own. They went after their own. And the question is, then why would they go after their own? Why? Because they know that there's validity to that. You know what I'm saying? Man, these folks are literally cutting their nose to spite their faces. And see, if that was said from me a couple of weeks ago, oh no, you're racist, you're this, you're that. Hey, here I could give them all the Department of Labor statistics. I can give them all the breakdowns of, even with all types of government offices that they have as political appointees. You can access that information from the GAO, the Government Accountability Office, You can get it all. They give you a nice little breakdown, a nice little schedule. Trust me, I know. I've done those before. You put in a little SPSS, this little statistical program modeling software, gives you the analysis, gives you the breakdown. You can ask it, this is what I'm looking for. This is the trends that I want. This is what I'm trying to see. I could go through all that. Do I want to go through all that? I don't have time to go through all that. But I'll look at the raw numbers and there it is. What does that mean for comparison? Hey, excuse me. Listen, we're not just here just saying things randomly out of the blue. Let's see what Karras is going to say to rile up the people. No. Matter of fact, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. They said it. So they are literally giving up their secrets right. Excuse me, man. Oh boy. Right in front of our very faces. They're giving up their secrets.
Well, see, you techies are very analytical, so a lot of stuff don't get past y'all's eyes, and that's the thing. And I guess I've been looking up some stuff and seeing how brothers and sisters, in particular FBA, are being weeded out of the tech industry because now they know that they can't run information or run a story, especially by a techie, that's black, and then have someone of y'all's background sign on to it and say, okay, that's what it is, because you're going to look past what they manufacture and just look at the raw numbers and then break it down from there. I've noticed that about a lot of people in tech. Y'all really don't play when it comes to those numbers. And
Mm-mm.
if you're talking about data, it's hard to get stuff past y'all.
Oh yeah, no, no. I need to see data. I got to see the numbers. You know, I don't like to have people make their own um, interpretations. Right? It's inferred. It's an inference. It's my interpretation. I believe. Now, let me see. Now, let's take a look, and then we'll figure this on out. Let's take a look, and we'll see how this thing is actually moving, and we'll go from there. Because here's the thing, they know that that's been part of our problem. It's actually been part of our issue. It's not that we aren't smart, it's not that we're not sophisticated. Oh, we are, but what we've been allowed to be intellectually lazy. And I'm
Ooh,
not trying
now
to and
that
I'm
that
not
that's a cut.
yeah, listen, I'm sorry if folks want to say, Brother Karras, it's too this and too that. Hey, we've been allowed to be intellectually lazy. What does the word say? Hosea 4 and 6. Oh, I know. People are getting hurt. My people are what? Destroyed because of what? A lack of knowledge. Do you think that they want you to read things? Do you think that they want you to analyze things? Why did they always say we have to monitor a group of you all? Because why? Because somebody in that group is going to start to take a look at the current situation and provide some sort of an analysis that is not going to go well with us. No, that's the last thing that they want to hear, that they want to see. Oh, you're uppity. Am I really uppity, or am I hitting the the nail on the head?
Oh, speaking of that, bro. right there in your state, and this affects your state directly. But I know that a lot of y'all don't pay attention to Israelite camps or whatever. But not just with the camps, but with TikTok, with a lot of the I don't want to call anyone a black intellectual, but a lot of us are waking up collectively as a big group. And if you want to say the black intellectual, it's all of us, men
Hmm.
and women and children collectively. But
Yes.
if you go on some of these like TikToks and X or whatever, and they're having those talks, now I understand why DeSantis was wanting was pushing so hard to just shut down black education in Florida. And I hate to shoehorn in another person, but it does tie into what Tariq Nasheed has released with that American Maroons that is all about Florida.
Hmm.
And a lot of fact checkers have been looking into that. And so far, Tariq Nasheed has not missed once on that. And a lot of those fact checkers are pissed. Pardon my language. But it's the white variety, they are they are upset. They are hot. They're even talking about trying to investigate where Tariq Nasheed got that information from. Like we're not supposed to have access to that information, but he is batting 1,000 with that right now. And because I was just thinking about the whole trying to shut down in Florida, it's like the flashpoint of all that, and I was just wondering what's going on with that. I thought it was just a DeSantis thing, but no, it's the black intellect as a collective that's rising up, and now the truth is being, exposed everywhere. Well, it's being uncovered everywhere, and the lies are being exposed.
Yeah. I mean, their intent with him, I'm gonna the do where it's due. But I also have to say, look, in terms of where we understand it, and let me tell you, I live here in Florida. I've been to the Florida museums here in Tampa, Central Florida. You know, yes, Seminoles, Cimarrones, criminals, right?
Yep.
Is the Seminole tribe really a real tribe?
No, I think they're like runaways or rebels or
Yeah. And that's exactly what it is. So when people have that argument of, oh, I'm a Cherokee this or Cherokee that, I'm like, you know, did our folks have refuge with the Native Americans? Yeah, some tribes they did, some tribes they didn't. Was it easier for our folks to escape down here to Florida? Absolutely. Absolutely. 80% of Florida, literally, look at the landmass here. 80% of Florida is swamps. You're only able to build land, and I would say Florida, as in South Florida. I'm gonna, and even parts of northern Florida. Even Jacksonville. You can build more on the Panhandle because from the Gulf. 80% of Florida is swamps. They don't do too well in the swamps. Will they get on out there? Yeah, they'll get on out there. But the problem is staying out there. Don't get it twisted. So how did they have to move? They had to move to come down here to kind of, quote unquote, settle Florida when they moved in an army. And really what it was to settle Florida, it was basically, hey, You're going to accept who you're going to accept on the rolls, and everybody else, you know, gets turned on over, or we come in and we destroy you. That's the crux of the negotiations. People didn't even know that Florida was an actual holding cell for Geronimo and the Chiricahuan Indians. That's how they beat the
But
Chiricahuans.
but can I tell you a little secret though, Karis? And probably a lot of people are going to get angry at me. But those Hamitic tribes that were already here didn't learn how to fight back until we got here as slaves. I'm sure, you know, when I say we, I mean us Israelites. I'm just
Hmm?
speaking. People are going to get mad, but just look at the history because there is a recorded history, a bit of one before we got here, and look at how things started turning up after we
Well,
were here. If we
well, think about what they had in the Mayan and Aztec culture, Quetzalcoatl. You know, um, it was funny they had that character in like Black Panther too, but honestly, he was supposed to be a white person, and he was supposed to be a Caucasian that was an enslaver. That was the whole thing to the temple. They would sacrifice the human hearts to. Why did they learn this? How did they know this? Even when they go into the parts of the forest, the Amazon forest, they run and they ran into the Amazon forest, into the most remote and interior parts, and then they would get contacted and they'd ask, why did you go so deep into the forest? Our ancestors told us to run, and the next time we saw anybody of a lighter skin hue, that portended danger and disaster. These are on their National Geographic shows. I mean, if you're not understanding what they're saying, you just brush it off. Okay, well, that's why they live so deep in the forest. Okay, whatever. They
oh
clearly
wow,
had
see,
they clearly had some sort of interaction with the people, you know, and that's what it was. And, who knows where it came through? Who knows how things had been, had revolved? Who knows? But that's their story. And I would say their story was pretty intact because that's what a large majority of those remote tribes do. That's why, they would say, well, we didn't know why they're shooting their arrows at us.
they knew.
They know exactly. When they realized that we were friendly and things of that nature, you know, that was all throughout the Amazon, all throughout the rainforest. Now they've been trying to push to have it protected and everything else, but now look, most of the rainforest has been decimated.
Well, yeah, those Portuguese and Spaniards down there. It. I mean, did you see that one? And it kind of turned my stomach. I don't know. I'm a sports fan, so I watch. The only time I watch soccer is during the FIFA World Cup, and I
Hmm.
think about 8 or 9 years ago they had that um, World Cup thing that was happening in Brazil, but it was like right in the middle of the rainforest on the Amazon River, where they had literally cut out a big pocket of the rainforest to build that island right there, like for you know. very affluent and wealthy people, and that's what it's cited. I'm like, so they're damaging the world and about to choke everybody out so they can have a site on an island that where people can live and play these games. It was really sick to me.
Yeah, now that was some of those places in the interior because most of Brazil is very uninhabited. Most of Brazil is very uninhabited. A lot of where the Brazilians live at, most Brazilians live on the coast.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mhm. Yeah,
I didn't.
it's very very remote locations all throughout the Amazon and things of that nature. It's hard for them. I mean, they don't tell you, when they talk about the sea peoples and things of that nature, when they talk about the Phoenicians and all this other good stuff, it's hard for them to go interior.
Well, I tell you what, I wouldn't want to live anywhere in South America. I mean, yeah, maybe Chile, only because of the Andes Mountains. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, like I say, well, I didn't know that y'all's education system in Florida was that sophisticated. They actually go through a lot with y'all down there, as opposed to Texas. It's thorough to a particular point, but I mean, it's funny every time I talk to someone from there, from Florida, northern Florida, not South Florida, because that's uh my yeah, that's
South
something
Florida's
else.
different. South Florida's
Yeah,
different. We're different. We're different out here.
but y'all are on par with like Savannah, Georgia, because Savannah, Georgia, and Brunswick have a pretty good, thorough education system. Y'all kind of remind me of them up there or down there in Georgia, anyway.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say, the East Coast is a little bit different than the Gulf side. It has a difference in even vegetation and things of that nature as compared to the Gulf. So it is different. It is different. In terms of the education system, you know, it is what it is. I've always had to tell my kids, like, look, pick up something and read something and think about things. My um, eldest son, um, when he would come on over from high school and he would say, "Hey, Dad, I had a question about this, this, and this," because we were just talking about that, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's good. I'm glad that these things are clicking, and it would be nice to hear how he would, be able to understand things and internalize and interpret things. I always tell people, like, look, um, don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for, what you see, what you hear. I always tell people, look, I want you all to do to look, to see, look, our people are the biggest investigative reporters, researchers ever, ever.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when that happens, look, everybody starts reading. Oh, okay, well, what about this? What about that? And people drill down on the references, which is great. I love it when people drill down on the references in the book. Because why? Because then it goes to the real core references that has been at the heart of every crux. Well, where did that come from? Well, it came from this. Well, who conferred that and where did that get? Somebody conferred something. Somebody gave authority for something. People just don't do things out of the blue. They never do.
Hold on, bro, Karis. I gotta address Miss Carol Lee for a minute, and I'm not. I'm doing it in love, so I'm not gonna run at her. But no, sister, we do love our nappy hair and our blackness. We've over the past 10 years have placed a high value on our blackness, but right now we're just kind of cutting
Uh,
the meat close to the bone or trimming the fat.
no, 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 no. She was talking about the love affair that our people have,
Oh,
Native Americans. Yeah.
oh, oh,
So
okay. Oh,
yeah,
forgive me, sister.
and and it's true. I mean, people don't realize that it is a different phonetic group. It's a different people group, and when people say, "Oh, well, we're one and the same," wait a second, they got recompense. Come on now, stop. This is a curse thing. These are a curses thing.
It is a curse thing and it's a hate thing because they know that as far as among all the melanated people, and I hate to sound conceited when I say this, but we're the alpha, or at least the apex. I mean, we're the apple of the Most High's eye. So, I mean, yeah, even a lot of other melanated people's gonna hate us.
No, that is what the word says, so I'm not going to dispute the word. But yeah, no, and it can sound very conceited. Wait a second. Are you telling me that the Most High is getting ready to work on behalf of his people? And I would say it's not getting ready. He's already doing it. He's already doing it. This is why, going back to the crux of the conversation, when we say looking at the exit signs, well, the exit signs is this, you know, when the scripture says, come out of her, my people, do not partake in her judgments, it was a little bit more than just, physically stepping out. There has to be a spiritual stepping out. And as we had begun to spiritually move, that spiritual then becomes physical. I say this. Look, polls and numbers and participation, it has an impact. The question then would be asked, then why are you here if you're not participating in my system? Why are you here if you're not participating in my rituals? Why are you here if you're not in covenant? That to me is when things start to get very, very hairy. Well, I guess I was tired of us always losing. I figured that if you all saw that we were serious, that, as a people, and we, took back the authority to not participate. You always want us to do this and do that. You all always want us to be, in the foreground of every rally or protest or everything else. I figured, maybe it was time that we just stayed away and let you all figure it on out, and we will just deal with the fallout like we've always done. Is it really going to hurt us and really hurt you that we don't participate? I mean, what are we even going to get it for participation? We've seen it all before. We've gone through all the bells and whistles before.
Hey, brother. Speaking of that, I have to give you credit because you had to bash it in my head and humble me. And this was about like a year, maybe not a year ago, but I remember I was talking not too long ago, like maybe a couple weeks ago. I was talking to these five Wahisi dudes. They're obviously right wing conservatives, but they came at me asking questions. So I started to tear into them, but I remember what you told me. If these other folks, these Gentiles or whoever, are coming, coming at us with humility, and it seems like they really want to know, then have a respectful dialogue with them. And I did. The conversation shifted over to reparations, And surprisingly, not saying that they agreed with it, but it didn't turn into an argument. It was a 4 hours long, very productive discussion, and we just all left standing on our square. Whereas I still think we need our reparations. We're going to get our reparations, and they just felt respectfully that a debt was paid. They had their garden variety of excuses. They articulated it well, but the I guess the point of me telling you this is I didn't curse them out. There was no bad energy, at least while we were there. Now, when we went our separate ways, who knows? But I was just thinking about you in that situation of how I handled myself.
Well, it doesn't. The word says that. Look, that we're here. We're under a strong arm. We're under a strong arm. So I mean, think about it. If you are, if you have the strong arm, who cares? They'll hear the argument. They'll understand, and then they'll give some um answer that they seem is appropriate to them. Doesn't mean it's right. It may not even be logical because you can go through and you can destroy them. You can destroy their framework with logic. We're not dealing with illogical people. At this time, logic is out the window. So what we're dealing with the people that is highly, highly delusional. And I don't make any qualms about it. I don't. So the argument is, it's not an argument of do we owe reparations? They know they owe reparations. They know it. So they can give any excuse to say it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, all we're just doing is talking and, speculating and have some sort of, you can have as much academic, discussions as we want. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, who will make us pay reparations? Who's going to make us? So you can have the argument. The argument can be the most articulated, the most eloquent, and yeah, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's all right. Thank you. We appreciate it, and they go about their business because why? Because it is not a pain threshold that they have to worry about. But when you give them a pain threshold, and the pain threshold doesn't have to come from us. Usually the pain threshold comes from them because now it's, well, wait a second. The rest of the world is having to deal and come to the fact that, wait a second, you haven't really been dealing right with these African Americans. And now, these African Americans are talking to the continent, and the black folks on the continent are asking questions. This was not part of the deal. We're losing out. Do you realize that they're losing out on resources? They're losing out on production. Their car markets, their car industry is crashing because, yes, they didn't have to sell cars at any type of cheap prices to Americans, especially the United States. They can make the vehicles here. They can have all sorts of lots and everything else here in the US. You can have Chevys, you can have Fords. No, it doesn't matter. They have all the dealerships. Okay. All right. Well, why is it so marked up? How come everything's so marked up? Because the prices are so marked up. Don't they care about trying to make sales and have a bottom line? And the answer is no. They didn't have to care about selling vehicles. These folks would come on out there. I'm a financial analyst. I do financial intelligence, finance. I know all the. I'm an economist. All that blah 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 blah. All the other nonsense.
Well,
And
one
let me.
thing for sure.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. So let me finish this. So and yeah, and I'm gonna have to get up on out of here in a few because I said at 10 o'clock I have to cut this off. So now they understand that the car market is in trouble, and they've always said, "Oh, it's coming. The car market's coming." Yes, they're partly right. It's not coming because of the consumerism from the United States. No, it's not because of no. It's coming because the markets are changing. China just said that they're not going to be buying US based US based automakers. So in a market that you have more people, you had over 1 billion people there, you only have 300 million people here around. Your market's a little bit bigger in China. So in reality, you didn't really have to sell any type of cars in the US. I mean, realistically, that's not going to put the automakers under. But when you're not able to sell those cars worldwide and your revenues keep falling because your vehicles are not being sold around the world, particularly in large markets that can handle those revenues, then now the point of people not buying cars, now it hits home. Now it's going to be okay, we need to have revenues, and it ain't going to be the government subsidizing them. We need to have another stimulus. We need to have another. We can't. We don't bled people dry. We don't have folks working. Small businesses are drying up. Then that becomes a major problem. The folks that have seen this, guess what? They've already moved and have gone because they had the means to do it. Those that do not have the means, many of us, yeah, we're going to have to wait on the Most High to make a way. And that way will be made. We just have to understand the reality of how these things come to pass. Because, it's quite simple that when they have these revelatory information and knowledge and that they're a prophet and all this other stuff, I have to look at them like, I don't think you really have to be a prophet to see, the writing on the wall per se. Things are going to crash. Things are going to, Yeah, it is. But it's one of those things that they're trying to then ensure that they can then measure the crash and then have it blamed on someone else. Well, Trump won the election, but it was because black people did this, and now it's this. Who knows? Just speculating. And now here we are that in this time, people are scrambling, people are trying their best to see what they can do. Because a lot of folks that you see here on YouTube and things of that nature, they don't have answers. Let's not panic, let's not panic, let's see this, let's see that. And then it's like, well, the price of gold is shooting up, so somebody has some information. Something's about to go down. And I'm sorry, you're not going to have it on this channel that it's going to get better and this place is going to turn around. If you can show that to me in scripture, you let me know. But I'm sorry, too many things are coming out, like our DNA, like our affiliations, especially when it comes to tribal affiliations, especially there on the continent that those folks go to get the Hebraic customs and the Israelite Yahudim customs that they had been adamantly trying to deny us to talk to our brothers and sisters. That's very powerful. Oh yeah, no, y'all the people, because look, here's X, Y, and Z. Here's this and this. Here's this and that. What? How did you know? It was always passed down to us. We were just waiting for you all to come back so we can actually share that with you. Wow. Interesting. And we've seen those videos to where they try to get converted to them folks' religious structure. Come here and fall under and make a covenant and disregard your birthright. Convert to this system. They said, nah, we're not doing that. We know who we are. Nah, we're the Israelites of the Bible. We know who we are. Want to be better to come over to this system? Nope, because we're not going to forfeit our promise. Brother Rojo, any final comments before I let you go and wrap this thing up?
Yeah. Just really quickly, I just want to say that Pan Africanism has always been a thing that started over here in the United States or in the West. Ever since we let it go, it seems like some of the real ones, the riders over there on the continent, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Tanzania, they're kind of starting a Pan African movement to get us over there. So I got to say, shout out to them. So I think it's time for everybody to get on Team Israelite. Start keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, starting with the dietary Hebraic laws, and then do it in stages. At least that's the way I do it, and my system don't work for everybody, but yeah, I mean, let's fall back in line so we could go ahead and get our reparations and get on up out of here because I'm with Karis. I'm not going to pray for this place to recover because going back to normal is again normalizing our oppression and affliction. And I'm so done with that. This I don't even care about this place. But anyway, I land there. Shalom to you, brother, and shalom to everybody on the chat.
All right. Thank you, Brother Rojo. All right. Well, family, thank you for supporting this this channel. Thank you for your support to Question Night Africa. Most time willing, I will be back on tomorrow, and we'll go from are happening. It's now we're in the roller coaster ride, and really it's all starting to go downhill. Really, it is. So pray for yourselves. Pray. Ask the Most High to lead you and guide you and to protect you, and also pray for your family members. Pray for your loved ones, your friends. I can't stress that we're in a time that's you're gonna have the craziness. It has to, but it doesn't mean that we have to be swept away with the crazy. Our hope is in Yahuwah through His Son Yahusha Hamashiach. That's what we need to be focusing on and meditating on and praying on and declaring on. That's it. We're now past the stage of education. Now this is practical learning. This is now implementation. You've done trained. Now we're going to demonstrate. Welcome to the big leagues. Hallelujah. So with that said, family, most high willing, I'll be back on tomorrow. Again, please support Nature's Legacy Garden. I'm telling you, if you don't know how valuable agriculture is, it's valuable. It is it's very valuable. Very, very valuable. We have Nature's Legacy Garden that wants to give you that training, so then you are an invaluable resource. That's just how it goes. Train the trainer and let that knowledge keep passing. Those classes start July 22nd, so you only have about 5 more days, family. 5 more days to get on it. Because you never know when you will need that training. You just don't. Man, I remember this. Yeah, I used to do that. Yeah, I'm not going to beat that into the ground. You all pray about it. You ask the Most High about it. So with that, family, yep, I got to get up on out of here. So with that, shalom, salama, siyemi, shalom, peace and blessings, Yasharel.